So today I'm going to be making whole wheat peanut butter bagels, and I use these for breakfast on my long run. I freeze them, so I only eat like one a week, and the recipe makes 8 bagels. So you can go for 2 months having a bagel once a week on those days. And the finished product looks like this, and looks pretty much like a bagel. So let's get started. Measure your flour into a large mixing bowl. I use a stand mixer, and I'm also using a scale, which is good for exact measurements using the gram setting. The link to the recipe is below if you would like the gram measurements. I'm using a vanilla bean flake salt from the Seneca Salt Company. I'll put a link to an online shop that sells it down below. The beans are in the container, and I use it whenever I'm baking something sweet. Next up is a rapid rise yeast, and then a quick mix up in the mixer just to blend the flour, the salt, and the yeast together. I get my peanut butter powder from Wegmans, but you can also get it on Amazon if your store doesn't carry it. Mix the powder and the Truvia or the sugar in with warm water, and then slowly pour it into the mixing bowl with the paddle attachment on low speed. Once it's mixed in, raise the mixer to a higher speed to mix it thoroughly. Add in the peanut butter, and this is where having a dough hook will come in handy if you own one. Peanut butter mixing into the dough is really messy. So use the dough hook for about 2 minutes, and if you find the dough is really still sticky, add up to 3 tablespoons of flour, and then mix again for another minute to make a nice pliable dough. Dump the dough into a greased bowl and flip over once to coat all sides, and then cover the bowl and let sit to proof for 2 hours. The dough for the bagels has proofed, and it actually proofed quite nicely. So we're going to form the bagels now and put them in for a second proof after we're done making and forming them into the bagel shape. Cut the parchment paper to fit 2 baking sheets and then spray them with cooking spray to keep the bagels from sticking to the paper. Dump the dough onto a smooth surface and cut into 8 even pieces. Okay, now it's the fun part. We're going to roll each of the pieces into a ball, and then roll that ball, just like you're playing with Play-Doh, out into a rope shape, making it fairly long enough so that when you wrap it around into a circle, you can close the seams together and you still have a good size hole in the middle, because these are going to go in for another proof, and they're going to have to be able to rise and double. So you want the hole big enough that when they do that, they rise to and have the hole in the middle in a nice big shape. Okay, spray some cling wrap and wrap up the bagels and cover them pretty loosely. Bagels are going to proof for 30 to 60 minutes, and meanwhile we're going to set the oven at 425 and also get a pot of boiling water going with 2 tablespoons of baking soda. Meanwhile, put the oats and peanuts in a baggie if you just have whole peanuts, and using a rolling pin, crush the peanuts. The recipe specifies 2 tablespoons of each, but I just dumped some in a bag. It is boiling, so I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of the baking soda. We have some really nice looking bagels here. They had a really good rise, and we're going to drop them 2 at a time into the boiling water for 30 seconds on one side, flip it 30 seconds on the other, and then pull them out to drain. And then immediately we're going to sprinkle these oats and the crushed peanuts on top so that they stick.